Is the 2020 Honda Civic Sport Coupe for tall people? I'm 6'5", and today we're gonna find out. First of all, I wanted to give a big thank you to Tyler Dean and Cody Thomas of 6th Avenue Honda here in beautiful Stillwater, Oklahoma, for letting me check out this car and give you guys a really cool review today. All right, so starting with the wheels, we have a premium aluminum alloy sport wheel for the Honda Civic Sport Coupe model. And these are 18-inch wheels with some Goodyear tires to give it some grip on the front and back. And this Honda Civic Sport Coupe is wrapped in this modern steel metallic. And in person, it's really quite beautiful. It looks really good. And we have some chromish trim here along the windows. And we have body lines all along the Civic. So starting here on the roof, you've got a little bit of an aerodynamic line here that goes all the way to the back, starting at the windshield. And then going down underneath the driver's side window, you have a line that goes from the front fender and all the way back to the very rear and meets the taillight here. And really kind of giving the Civic a bit of elegance here. And then we have our body lines that channel some air right underneath at the bottom near the door as well. All right, so something also cool about the sides of the 2020 Honda Civic Sport Coupe are these humongous doors. I mean, look how wide this is. So here is from the front, and here it is for the rest of the sides to kind of give you an idea of how huge these doors are. All right, so looking at the rear here, we have our trunk, and the line goes down from the roof, and it goes down to the rear, and the taillights stick out at the top here. And it's really cool because it comes out and concaves out a few inches. And we've tested this, and it doesn't look like this light bar here lights up all the way, but it does light up a few inches up to about here on both sides of this light bar. And then the taillights light here, and then you have your signals here at the back. And then looking more at the trunk, you have your concave lines, and here this thing just has lines all over it. And it's just really different for a Honda. It's pretty cool. And then you go down further, and you've got more lines that come out, and we are now meeting our rear diffuser, which is kind of like a rubbery plastic here. And we have some unfunctional air outlets here, and then we have this sweet exhaust here right in the middle that really gives the Civic a much more distinctive and sporty look. Let's go ahead and give it a little rev here. We have our backup camera, which is a 3-way backup camera and shows you from the middle and on both sides as well whenever you're backing up to increase safety. The 2020 Honda Civic also comes standard with these triple brake lights that blink 3 times when pressing the brake. Now we are taking a look at the trunk of the 2020 Honda Civic Sport. And it is quite impressively large. You have a lot of room here. You can get quite a bit in here. Honestly, you could get some pretty large boxes fit into the back there. And the seats do actually, with pulling this lever here, they do fall forward, and you have some additional space there. Made our way to the passenger side of the Civic. So you'll notice this faux aluminum plastic trim here, and you've got a textured trim here right under the window, and you've got your tweeter, and just below you have a speaker for your stereo. You've got some water bottle holders here, cup holders with a little bit of compartment storage space in there as well. And you've got your power lock and unlock there, and you've got your power windows as well. And then you have a textured arm cushion here, and this is not very soft. It's kind of a harder plastic there. And then you have a softer little arm rest here with a little bit of storage there as well. All right, so now taking a look at this seat here, The sport seat is a cloth with some white stitching, and something I really love is this checkered pattern for the sport coupes that runs along the middle here on the bottom and the top. And then on the sides, it's actually trimmed with some really nice and soft leather that also has some white stitching in there as well. Also do have a back seat, which is honestly quite roomy. All right, here we go. So I'm in the back seat now, and there's actually, this is the headroom. It's not the best, but honestly, it's livable for short trips, even at my height. Even that far back, and this is the space that I have back here, where the seat's not that far forward, and a pretty reasonably sized human being can fit up there and back here as well. Back here, you've even got storage compartments here, a couple cup holders on both sides as well, and you've got trim here to rest your arm against, and it's all kind of hard plastic back here and it's textured, but it is there. And you have these large side windows there on both sides that offer tons of view. Right up front here in the Honda Civic is, you'll notice that the hood really, it's a lot more aggressive, and it's a lot more pulled together than the past models. The front hood really slopes up and curves in, and there's a bunch of curvy lines there that run along the side of the hoods with some indents and concaves there right into the hood. And then you'll follow down to the lights here, and you have these sweet daytime running lights, and these are LEDs. And then you've got your headlight bulb here, and you have your high beam along with your fog lights right down here. And you've got a little bit of a sport spoiler right at the bottom of the front lip as well. And we have a 2-liter Earth Dreams Technology VTEC Civic engine, and it puts out about 158 base horsepower, and it's paired up with the CVT, or continuously variable transmission. Now I'm going to go ahead and step into the driver's seat, and you can see what that's like. Really easy in and out. You've got a higher up roof line, even though it's kind of low and sporty. It's easy to get into. So the seat isn't actually all the way back, but the legroom is quite phenomenal just as is. I don't have it all the way back, and I can still get my feet pretty much completely extended out. Now, if I do go all the way back, they can go even further. All right, so we are sitting in the driver's seat of the Civic, and the steering wheel grip is nice and meaty. The cool feature is that you can actually adjust the steering wheel on these as well. The whole column will move, not the entire column, but the steering wheel does adjust. It can go out, it can go down, and it can go up, and then we'll go back in as well. But we have our nice smooth leathery steering wheel here with our stitching. You have multiple functions here on the steering wheel on the left and the right side. This is our lane keeping assist button here. You turn that on, and to activate that. And on the side here we have more lane keeping assist features. We have a front collision warning system right here, and we have our traction control off here as well. You have a nice faux, honestly it looks a little bit like a carbon fiber hexagonal design here, and the top vents here concave out a little bit over that. And this trim does run all along the dash as well. And then we have our dash up top here, which is a harder plastic as well, and we got a hard plastic here. Looking at the center, we have our shifter here, and our shifter is has a nice grip to it, has a nice feel as well. And then moving down, we have our PRNDS, that's our sport mode, and in sport mode, it's going to automatically put the shifters ready to be used. And we have our brake hold, which holds the brake at a stop. You have your parking brake here, that's what that looks like. And then we have our econ button as well to improve the gas mileage. And then we have 2 cup holders here as well, and our armrest here, which is a semi-soft, it's a soft leather, but it's not very plush, but it is nice to rest your arm on as well. And that opens up, and you've got your storage here that runs all along here with the cup holder that is on railing, and the cup holder slides back and forth there. And these are good size cup holders as well. And these are actually, this is removable, and you can pop this out and you can fit a lot more into this compartment, like a small purse. You have a cup holder down there. You have USB ports as well. And right under the dash, you actually have a pass-through that has some extra storage here as well, with some USB ports and a power port here. All right, so here is the Honda Civic Sport Coupe's key. We've got our lock, unlock, engine start button right here. This opens up the trunk, and then we have our panic button here as well. Foot on the brake, and we will go to the push engine start button right here and start it up. And we've got some little cool graphics there on the dash. And right in the center, you're going to notice that we have a full tachometer there in the center, and we have like a liquid fluid looking temperature gauge there on the left, and the same on the right with the fuel gauge as well. And moving to the center infotainment center, you have your home button right here, your audio, your phone, and the back button as well. Now this is a really good infotainment system here. It does have the Android Auto and Apple CarPlay as well, and we can turn all that off. And this system, this infotainment system, really moves a lot like a phone. I mean, it really feels very close to using my phone. It responds very quick to the touch and is nice and responsive. And then we have our knobs here that do click, and they feel really good to turn, and they're easy to use. And we've got all our settings right there for that. And then we've got a little bit more storage down there in the middle. All right, so we are taking off in the 2020 Honda Civic Sport Coupe.
Has really good acceleration, and that was even on sport mode too. So once we get past a couple of these lights, we can throw it on sport mode and really get a good feel for the horsepower and the torque on the vehicle.
Yeah, for sure, man. Just CVT it's really different. It feels really weird when you're first starting to get used to it, right? Because you're just kind of waiting for a shift and you don't get a shift.
Exactly. Yeah, compared to the traditional engines, absolutely. Yeah, it does have a different feel to it, but Honda will give you a little visual warning on the front saying driver steering's required, and all you really have to do is just barely touch the steering wheel and it'll resume right back.
Going about 70 miles per hour, and I'm like completely hands-free in this thing.
And as soon as it touches that, all you have to do is just barely touch it, and then it resumes right back up.
Wow. I've seen a lot of testing like this on the new Teslas. Not comparing it to the Tesla, but it's pretty intuitive. It feels really good down in the sport mode here, and already it revs up higher, just changing the gear into sport mode. Fourth gear here. Oh, that's pretty cool. Wow, that's nice. I love the screen, man. So when you get pretty close to redline, it really kind of starts to cut the power a little bit. It takes a second, but it's still pretty quick.
Oh yeah.
Not bad.
So rather than doing like how does the acceleration feel?
Feels good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Those paddle shifters just really give it a good experience without it actually being a manual transmission.
Yeah. The fuel economy goes way down when you're flooring it though. It just drops.
Oh yeah.
It's the space in here is breathable and it feels good. It's really comfortable. I mean, it feels like I'm in a sedan or something a lot larger than just a coupe. Feel the lane keeping assist even on this turn. It just keeps you off from going too far over the turn, going over the line. Oh man, the shifts really do feel good. And here you'll see as well that I am in a comfortable seating position. I actually need to move it a little bit forward, and there is still a little bit of space right behind me, so a smaller person could actually get behind me. And this is a lot of headroom for a sport coupe. I've got a pretty upright position here. I'm not really gangster leaned all the way back, and there's still a good amount of headroom as well. And you've got plenty of viewing at all angles in this. There's really very little blind spot looking around. The Honda Civic Coupe feels really good, and it looks really nice all in here. All right, and so that ends the video. Thank you so much again for watching. And again, I wanted to give a shout out and a thank you to Tyler Dean and Cody Thomas here at 6th Avenue Honda, located in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Really awesome place to be, really great staff, really friendly and helpful, and just full of knowledge to help you on your next purchase. So conclusion on the Honda Civic Sport Coupe. It is definitely a tall person car, and if you want to drive something like this every single day, you'd be very comfortable doing so. Thank you again for watching, and remember to subscribe, like, and if you own one of these or if you have some opinions, go ahead and get into the comment section and let me know. Thank you and have a good day.